Okay, so I wanted to talk about the Roland TR-6S. So I thought I would treat myself to a new drum machine. Now I wanted something that would run on batteries, and there aren't a huge number of options. There are various Korg Volcas. I looked at the Volca drum, but I didn't really like the way it sounded. Then I came across the Roland TR-6S, and it looked ideal. First of all, it runs on AA batteries, which is brilliant, and it's extremely small. It's probably about the size of a book. It's quite thick, to be fair. It's probably about 1.5 inches thick, and the rest of it, the top is about half A4 or something like that. It's extremely portable, and I've already made some beats in the park. You can access quite a few functions over USB, but I haven't tried that yet. It's got SD card slot for loading samples, proper 5-pin MIDI in and out, which I'm very pleased about, and it's got a 1/4 inch stereo output there, and where I'm pointing on the front is the headphone socket. It is digital modeling, so it's not analog. It uses Roland's circuit behavioral model, and it sounds quite good. I do have a Roland TR-8, the one which is black and green, the first one that they put out that used this technology, and I thought it sounded really good, so I felt pretty comfortable this would sound good as well. Let's give it a quick blast. So as you could probably see from that, this thing is quite hands-on. Normally when you have a small machine like this, a hands-on control can be sacrificed, but they've thought about it, and I think they've made the most of the small form factor, and I think it sounds really good. This knob here can function as a high-pass filter, which is quite good for live jamming as well. I'll show you a bit more what it can do by playing you some of the built-in tracks, because I've just used it for drums so far, but it is possible to sequence melodic instruments, and it does have quite a few synth sounds as well as a whole bunch of drum sounds as well. A sort of electro thing. Sort of tribal-ish type of deal. New agey dubstep. This one is called Chip 1 Go. Yes, it does have some chiptune sounds in it as well. Oh yeah, I wanted to find a beat like this. As you can tell, it's got synth sounds in, and that's what I want to explore tonight. UK hard house. Oh, a little vocal sample. As I said at the start, this thing does have a SD card socket, so you can load your own samples into it. That one's called 407 beat. It's not really my sort of thing. This is 727 and 909. This one is called 707 Variation. It is actually 707 Day today. That certainly sounds just like a 707. This is 626 Variation. Also sounds quite legit. Right, let's try making our own thing. I'll start with a fresh pattern. It might be quite nice to do a bit of sort of piano house type of thing. I'm going to set the tempo to about 132 BPM. It should be all right. To tier a chord and the bass drum, and we'll record this. Right, now that bass drum is clearly a 808 bass drum, so let's change it. Press the instrument button, then we can go through a whole number of bass drums that this thing is able to produce. So there's a couple of 808 bass drums, then we get onto the 909 ones. 707 FM kick drums, a hardcore kick drum. Sort of sounds a bit FM-y as well. This is called EDM 909 kick. I don't know about that. There's well over a dozen kicks. Let's just pick one of the standard 909 kick drums. That sounds nice. I'm going to go with that. Let's put an accent in. So to do an accent, there's a helpful reminder here that you've got to press SD and BD together. Seems a bit obscure, but it is clearly labeled. So and let's do a hand clap. Sounds like an 808 hand clap. We can change it. Yeah, it is an 808 hand clap, but there's a selection of hand claps as well. There's a 909 hand clap. I'll probably go for that, but it's like a weird FM hand clap and a crunchy hand clap and a real hand clap. Real hand clap sounds a bit lame. We definitely want a synthesized hand clap. We can actually start to play around a bit with some of these sounds. If you do shift an instrument, you get like a whole bunch of parameters, so I could adjust the tuning of the hand clap. Probably somewhere about there. Reduce the decay. Nice and tight now. Make it a bit louder maybe. Change the panning, reverb and all this other stuff, but we won't get into that. But there are hundreds of options for tweaking it. Let's do let's get a hi-hat in there. Change the sound of that hi-hat. It's an 808 hi-hat. Go for the my favourite 707 hi-hat. And I think it's time we tried some of those synth sounds. So let's try to put a bass in there. There are suggestions for what sort of instrument you might want to put on particular channels. It suggests bass drum, snare drum, low tom, hand clap, closed hi-hat and open hi-hat. But in reality, you can put any instrument on any channel you want. It's only a guide. Let's try one of these. This one is called FM Pluck. I mean, it's a nice sound, but it's not exactly what I was hoping for. We've got to try and find a bass sound. It's quite nice as well. This thing, as well as having analog physical modeling synth for the drums, it also has like an FM synth, which is used for some of these like synth hits. And here we go. There's even a bass section. This one is called FM bass. That's nice. Okay, that works. Okay, I'm going to go back to that first FM bass and then try and mess about with some of the sounds that it can do shift instrument. Okay, so the tuning we probably want to leave. Let's see what decay does for us. Not too much decay. I want to make it sound a bit fatter. This This control is called morph. Okay, you can hear the FM starting to come out here. Probably don't need too much of the morph. I would put a bit in the FM coarse, this is called, I don't know. Okay, that's just adjusting the pitch. Okay, it's got some effects here, none of which are really active, so I think what we could do is maybe try it, see if there's a distortion effect. Well, there's a low boost, that's already sounding good. Okay, this one's called saturator. I'm not really sure what that means, but we're going to try it, okay? Turn up the drive control. Okay, that's quite pleasant. Kind of want a bit of... Oh, we can put some more low end into it. Okay, that's sounding decent now. I mean, it sounded decent before, let's be honest, but... Okay, let's try it with the other sounds that we put in. This is working well. I'm going to save what I did, and you have to be a bit careful when you're saving it because it's easy to mistakenly overwrite built-in patterns, built-in kits, as I've discovered with my experimentation so far. Let's do the pattern. And now for the kit, we want to save that to a completely fresh kit because I don't want to overwrite the built-in. There's a spare one there, number 70. And what else haven't we saved? I think what might be quite nice is on the bass drum if we add a bit more attack. That should be possible in the instrument. Let's see if I can find the attack control. There we go. You can certainly hear that. Might be a bit much though. Maybe somewhere around there. Now we're going. It's pretty easy just to keep saving it because we've already generated a new kit and stuff. So this is using 4 of the 6 sounds. Let's try and add a pad sound. Let's try and find a nice pad. I'm going to use the LT for the pad, which is the low tom, so we want to change that to be some sort of synth. Okay, there's a chord section. It's quite nice, isn't it? Didn't really consider these type of sounds, but they work well. Well, that's a bit more like what I thought we would do for that. Go with that one. I'm going to save that and then we can start making some movement in the track with different chords. What we can do to add an extra pattern is it's got this thing called variation. Tap that. You'll see that each pattern appears to have 8 variations, but actually it has more than that because there's 2 variations you can't see for doing fills. I'm going to copy this variation to another one. Copy variation, and then we pick which one we want as the source and which one we want as the destinations. And then we can switch to that other variation and then change the pitching of some of those notes, which is where my cheat sheet comes in. So where do we want to go? At the moment it's playing a C, so I guess we should stay in C minor. So maybe we could probably play a G instead. If you hold it down, then you can adjust the motion sequencing, which is parameters which change over time. So I know the tuning for G is 74, so I'm going to put that in. We'll play it and it'll sound exactly the same. Because what you have to do is you have to enable the motion, which isn't very logical, but it's one of the few not logical things about this machine, so I will forgive it. Right, let's change that. Let's change that bass sound now, because we'd not be like that to be playing at a different pitch as well. So I might try and go down with the bass sound instead of up. So the G below is minus 53. Let's see how those two play together. Okay. That's working. What I might do in the second pattern is vary some of the drums a bit. Sounds quite nice. Let's have had a bit of shuffle. Maybe a bit less. There is nice. I can imagine a bit of distortion on that hand clap. Let's add some. So at the moment for effects it's got a filter. I'm going to change that to drive. That sounds nice, doesn't it? Might make it a bit louder. As you can see, there's quite a bit of menu diving, but it's not that bad. It's all quite logical. We do still have one channel free, which is the SD channel. This is going very quickly, actually, I must say. They're making the beats on this thing does go fast. Let's do another chord back to the variation, and I'm going to copy the first variation to the third one, and then edit that. Got to think where exactly we're going. So it's. I think it might be nice if it goes even higher. Let's try, that's a G, let's try an A sharp. Let's see how they all sound together. Okay, I mean, it's nothing remarkable, but it does sound very nice. Do a final variation, I guess. So we have 4 bars. You know, I've only been streaming for half an hour, but I've already made like sort of a house beat. Needs a bit more work, but I'm going to try and get some effects in, because at the moment I think we don't have any, and clearly we probably want to have some reverb on some of these sounds. So sounds there have reverb that shouldn't, but we can go in and edit those. Let's take the reverb off the kick drum to start with. Okay, that's a bit better. Probably also don't want it on the bass, which is on OH. This thing can play 6 simultaneous sounds, and I've got 5 there, so I need to think of something to do with the last one. Maybe some sort of arpeggio or something like that. One pattern to begin with. It's quite nice, actually. Let's edit some of that tuning. So there's a C, 1, 2, okay, let's do a C minor. Having to resort a lot to using the cheat sheet now. We'll see if this sounds any good once I've done a few more steps. Okay, so we should have half the pattern. Okay. I even quite like the fact that it just goes into the same note. I might carry on with some tune notes higher up though. Okay, that's nice. I'm going to try to see if there's any better sound that fits better. I mean, that does work though. Bad, but it probably needs to be an octave up. I'm liking that. I'm not liking that as much as I did at the beginning. It's quite nice. The old super saw. What I'm going to do is copy that variation to the next channel, and then we can change the chords of that. The cool thing is that, you know, I've obviously already created these variations. I don't really want to overwrite them, but this thing has quite good copying features. We just want to copy one instrument in the variation. So there's this thing where you can copy what they call a track. Let's listen to them both together. I'm now regretting the choice, the super saw. There to change the sound a bit. Okay. We've got more patterns to change for that chord now. Let's listen to all 3 together, then we'll do the last one. Okay, good. This is all going very smoothly. It would be nice to have a direct tuning. This reminds me a bit of the Volca sample. You have to tune the notes of the sample in the same sort of weird way, but I guess it works. Let's listen to all 4 together and see what we've got. bad. I sort of want to change that last pattern a bit. I'll listen to all of them together. Make that pluck sound a bit less loud. Maybe a bit more reverb for that thing. Well, we've got sort of a track, I suppose. It's been streaming for 56 minutes. I'm not saying it's like the best piece of music in the world, but it sounds good. It's not bad, that's for sure. Take care and have an awesome evening.